Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. And for those of you who are new, welcome to my channel. My name is Rebecca Gardner, and welcome back to another episode of Read Along with Me. So for today's episode, we're gonna be reading 4 chapters. In last episode, we read 6 chapters. So yeah, basically what happened in the last chapter is that so Heather tries to ask Melinda for help with the decorating for prom, and Melinda just stood up to her. But then she kind of makes an excuse for not helping her. Like if you guys see the movie, or maybe you haven't, but like in the movie, this might be a spoiler for you guys, oh sorry, but in the movie, Melinda, instead of lying and making an excuse, Melinda just says, I won't help you because at the beginning, because I was nice to you and I don't even like you, and you were just such a big jerk and you are so selfish and yeah. But and the so and then she asked Heather to leave. So yeah. But then again, we should not be judging Heather for being a bad friend, because keep in mind that the Marthas did not treat her very good. Like they were treating her as if she were their servant. So, yeah. And then there's and then Melinda and Rachel are in study hall together and they are kind of talking. And Melinda is trying to make consensus with her, and she told Rachel what happened at the party, and then she got really concerned, but then Melinda told her who it is, and then she just got really angry. And then everybody goes on her side, so that's where we are so far. But today is gonna be an exciting day because I'm gonna be reading one of my favorite parts, and you guys will see. So let's get right into it. I wake the next morning, Saturday, to the sound of a chainsaw, the noise biting through my ears and splintering my plans of sleeping in. I peer out the window. The arborist, the tree guy's dad called to trim the oak's dead branches, stand at the base of the tree, one guy revving up the chain like it's a sports car, the other giving the tree the once over. I go downstairs for breakfast. Watching cartoons is out of the question. I make a cup of tea and join Dad and a group of neighborhood kids watching the show from the driveway. One arborist monkeys his way into the pale green canopy, then hauls up the chainsaw turned off at the end of the thick rope. He sets to work pruning the wood like a sculptor. Brow! The chainsaw gnaws through the oak. The oak branches crashing crashing to the ground. And by the way, that was my bad impression of a chainsaw, so sorry. The air twirls with sawdust. Soap oozes from the open sores of the trunk. He is killing the tree. He'll only leave a stump. The tree is dying. There is nothing to do or say. We watch in silence. as the tree crashes piece by piece to the damp ground. The chainsaw murder swings down with a grin. He doesn't even care. The little kids ask my father why that man is chopping down a tree. He's not chopping it down, he's saving it. Those branches were long dead from disease. All plants are like that. By cutting off the damage, you make it possible for the tree to grow again. You watch. By the end of summer, this tree will be the strongest on the block. I hate it when my father pretends to know more than he does. He sells insurance. He is not a forest ranger, wise in the way of the woods. The arborist fires up the mulcher at the front of their truck. I've seen enough. I grab my bike and take off. The first stop is the gas station to pump my tires. I can't remember the last time I rode. The morning is warm, a lazy, slow Saturday. The parking lot at the grocery store is full. A couple of softball games are being played behind the elementary school, but I don't stop to watch. I ride up the hill past Rachel's house, past the high school. The downside is a fast, easy coast. I dare myself to lift my hands off the handlebars. As long as I'm moving fast enough, the front wheel holds steady. I turn left and left again, following the hills down without realizing where I'm heading. Some part of me has planned this. A devious internal compass pointed to the past. The lane isn't familiar until I glimpse of a barn. I squeeze the brakes hard and struggle to control the bike on the gravel shoulder. A wind rips through the phone, wires overhead. A squirrel fights to retain her balance. There are no cars in the driveway. Rogers is painted on the mailbox. A basketball hoop hangs off the side of the barn. I don't remember that, but it would have been hard to see it in the dark. I walk my bike along the back edge of the property where the trees swallow the sun. My bike leans into a clasping fence. I sink into the shade gold ground. My heart thuds as if I were pedaling up the hill. My hands shake. It is a completely normal place, out of sight of a barn and house, close enough to the road, and I can hear cars passing. Fragments of acorn shells litter the ground. You could bring a kindergarten class here for a picnic. I think about lying down. No, that would not do. I crouch my trunk, my fingers stroking the bark, seeking a braille code, a clue, a message on how to come back to life after my long under snow dormancy. I have survived. I am here, confused, screwed up, but here. So how can I find my way? Is there a chainsaw of the soul, an axe I can take my memories or fears? I dig my fingers into the dirt and squeeze. A small, clean part of me waits to warm and burst through the surface. Some quiet Melinda girl I haven't seen in months. That is the seed I will care for. When I get home, it's time for lunch. I make two egg salad sandwiches and drink an enormous glass of milk. I eat an apple and put my dishes in the dishwasher. It's only 1:00. I suppose I should clean the kitchen and vacuum, but the windows are open and robins sing in the front lawn, where a pile of mulch with my name on it is waiting. Mom is impressed when she drives up at dinner time. The front lawn is raked, edge mowed, and the bushes are mulched. I'm not even breathing hard. Mom helps me carry the plastic deck furniture up from the basement, and I scrub it with bleach. Dad brings home pizza and we eat on deck. Mom and Dad drink iced tea and there is no biting or snarling. I clear the dishes and throw the pizza box in the trash. I lie down on the couch to watch TV, but my eyes close and I'm out. When I wake up, it's past midnight and someone has covered me with an afghan. The house is quiet, cool, dark. Cool breezes slides in between the curtains. I am wide awake. I feel itchy inside, my skin antsy. That's what my mother would call it. I can't sit still. I have to do something. My bike is still leaning against the prune tree in the front yard. I ride. Up and down, across and diagonal, I pedal my sore legs through the streets of a suburb, mostly sleeping. Suburb mostly sleeping. Some late night TVs flicker from bedroom windows. A few cars are parked in front of the grocery store. I imagine people mopping the floors, restacking loaves of bread. I coast by the houses of people I used to know. Heather, Nicole. Turn the corner, downshift, and pedal harder up the hill to Rachel's house. The lights are on. Her parents waiting for the ferry prom goers to come home. I could knock on the door and ask them if they want to play cards or something. Nah. I ride like I have wings. I am not tired. I don't think I'll ever have to sleep again. By Monday morning, the prom is legend. The drama, the tears, the passion. Why hasn't anyone made a television show of this yet? The total damage included one stomach pumped, 3 breakups of long-term relationships, 1 lost diamond earring, 4 outrageous hotel room parties, and 5 matching tattoos allegedly decorating the behinds of the senior class officers. The guidance counselors are celebrating the lack of fatal accidents. Heather is not at school today. Everybody is gripping about her lame decorations. I bet she calls in sick the rest of the year. Heather should run away and join the Marines immediately. They'll be much sweeter to her than a swarm of angry Marthas. Rachel is in her glory. She ditched Andy in the middle of the prom. I'm trying to piece the story together from grapevine gossip. They say she and Andy argued during a slow song. They say he was all over her with his hands in his mouth. While they danced, he was grinding against her and she backed off. The song ended and she swore at him. They say she was ready to slap him, but she didn't. He looked around, all innocent-like, and she stomped over to her exchange student buddies. Ended up dancing the night away with a kid from Portugal. They say Andy's been really pissed off ever since. He got wicked drunk at a party and passed out in a bowl of bean dip. Rachel burned everything he ever gave her and left the ashes in front of his locker. His friends laughed at him. Except for the gossip, there is no real point in coming to school. Well, there are final exams, but it's not like they are going to make any difference with my grades. We have what? 2 more weeks of more weeks of classes. Sometimes I think high school is one long hazing activity. If you are tough enough to survive this, they'll they'll let you become an adult. I hope it's worth it. All right, this is my favorite part. Here we go. I'm waiting for the clock to end the daily torture by algebra session when whammo, whammo, a thought slams into my head. I don't want to hang out in my little hidey hole anymore. I look behind me, half expecting to see a sniggering back row guy who beamed me with an eraser. Nope, the back row is struggling to stay awake. It was definitely an idea that hit me. I don't feel like hiding anymore. A breeze from the open windows blows my hair back and tickles my shoulders. This is the first day warm enough for a sleeveless shirt. Feels like summer. After class, I trail behind Rachel. Andy is waiting for her. She won't even look at him. The kid from Portugal is now Rachel's numero uno. Ha! Double ha! Serves you right, you scum. Kids stare at Andy, but nobody stops to talk. He follows Greta and Rachel down the hall. I'm a few steps behind him. Greta Ingrid spins around and tells Andy exactly what he should do to himself. Impressive. Her language skills have really improved this year. I'm ready to do a victory dance. I head for my closet after school. I want to take the poster of Maya Angelou home, and I'd like to keep some of my tree pictures and my turkey bone sculpture. The rest of the stuff can stay as long as it doesn't have my name on it. Who knows? Some other kids may need a safe place to run to next year. Haven't been able to get rid of the smell. I leave the door cracked open a bit so I can breathe. It's hard to get the tree pictures off the walls without tearing them. The day is getting hotter, and there is no circulation in here. I open the door wider. Who's going to come by now? By this point in the year, teachers take off faster than students when the final bell rings. The only people left are a few teams scattered on the practice fields. I don't know what to do with the comforter. It's really too ratty to take home. I should have gone to my locker first and gotten my backpack. I forgot about the books that are here. I fold my comforter and set it on the floor, turn out the light, and head out the door for my locker. Somebody slams into my chest and knocks me into the closet. The light flicks on and the door closes. I am trapped with Andy Evans. He stares at me without talking. He is not as tall as my memories, but is still loathsome. The light bulb throws shadows under his eyes. He is made out of slabs of stone and gives off a smell that makes me afraid I'll wet my pants. He cracks his knuckles. His hands are enormous. You have a big mouth. You know it. Rachel blew me off at the prom, giving me some bullcrap story about how I raped you. You know that's a lie. I never raped anybody. I don't have to. You wanted it just as bad as I did. But you got your feelings hurt. So you started spreading lies, and now every girl in the school is talking about me like I'm some kind of pervert. You've been spreading that bullcrap story for weeks. What's wrong, ugly? You jealous? Can't get a date? The words fall like nails on the floor, hard, pointed. I try to walk around him. He blocks my way. Oh no, you're not going anyway. You're not going anywhere. You really screwed things up for me. He reaches up behind and and locks the door. Click. You are one strange freak. You know that. A freak. I can't believe anyone listened to you. He grabbed my wrist. I tried to pull them back, and he squeezes so tight it feels like my bones are splintering. He pins me against the closed door. Maya Angelou looks at me. She tells me to make some noise. I open my mouth and take a deep breath. You're not going to scream. You didn't scream before. You liked it. You're jealous that I took your friend and not you. I think I know what you want. His mouth is on my face. I twist my head. His lips are wet. His teeth knock against my cheekbone. I pull my arms again, and he slams his body against mine. I have no legs. My heart wobbles. His teeth are on my neck. The only sound I can make is a whimper. He fumbles to hold both my wrists in one hand. He wants a free hand. I remember. Metal hands. Hot knife hands. No. A sound explodes from me. No! I follow this sound, pushing off the wall, pushing Andy Evans off balance, stumbling from the broken sink. He curses and turns his fist coming, an explosion in my head and blood in my mouth. He hit me. I scream. Why aren't the walls falling? I'm screaming loud enough to make the whole school crumble. I grab for anything, my potpourri bowl. I throw it at him. It bounces to the floor. My books. He swears again. The door is locked. He grabs me, pulls me away from the door. One hand over my mouth, one hand around my throat. He leans me against the sink. My fists mean nothing to him. Little rabbit paws thumping harmlessly. His body crushes me. My fingers are overhead, looking for a branch, a limb, something to hang on to. A block of wood, a base of my turkey bone sculpture. I slam it against Maya's poster. I hear a crunch. It doesn't hear. It breathes like a dragon. Its hand leaves my throat, attacks my body. I hit the wood against the poster, and the mirror under it again. Shards of glass slip down the wall and into the sink. It pulls away from me, puzzled. I reach in and wrap my fingers around a triangle of glass. I hold it to Andy Evans' neck. He freezes. I push it just hard enough to raise one drop of blood. He raises his arms over his head. My hand quivers. I want to insert the glass all the way through his throat. I want to hear him scream. I look up. I see the stubble on his chin, a fleck of white in the corner of his mouth. His lips are paralyzed. He cannot speak. That's good enough. I said no. He nods. Someone is pounding on the door. I unlock it, and the door swings open. Nicole is there, along with the lacrosse team. Sweaty, angry, their sticks held high. Someone peels off and runs for help. So, the reason why this part is one of my favorites. So, let me explain this. When I first read this book, I was really confused because I don't know which side I'm on. I was like, I'm on Melinda's side, but I do not really know if Andy is lying. But, if you think about it, if you go back, you kind of knew it, Well, I mean, he was lying because he does not want Melinda to ruin his reputation. So, the way that you can know that, but now I know, okay, he's lying. Like, yeah. But the way that you could tell that he is lying is that, he, so when Melinda was about to scream, he says this, "You're not going to scream. You didn't scream before. You liked it. You're jealous that I took out your friend and not you. I think I know what you want." Like, if you think about it, like, he, like, you could be all like, well, how do you know about it if you, how do you know that Melinda liked it if you didn't do it? And I didn't believe him, but the fact that Melinda finally found her voice and she screamed and said no, like, that was the best. Like, she was finally able to find her voice and she was finally able to let it out. And that was pretty lit. So my question for today is, what do you think made Melinda decide to finally say no to Andy and scream that he was hurting her? Let me know in the comments below. And let's get the discussion going. And also, stay tuned for tomorrow because tomorrow is the last episode of this season. And I have a really important message that I want to give you guys. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and I hope you guys enjoyed the series. Remember to stay happy, stay safe, and stay cool. And I am off to the moon and I will be back soon.